Hey, good morning, traders. How we doing today? We do all right yesterday. I put out a video in the late morning trading uh, group, and I wasn't planning on trading. Wasn't planning on it. I was like, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's kind of late. Didn't feel like it. My mood wasn't in the right spot. I was just kind of like, ugh. See if I do something. How do I do this here? What am I doing here? Just bear with me for a minute. I'm trying to what the heck's going on? Trying to get all this stuff. I'll show you my trade. So here's my trade coming off yesterday. I told you I was waiting on my bias, right? I was trying to figure that out, trying to like get myself into the flow, mapping out everything, marking it up. And so we're at the 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. See, that's where my entry was, right there on that bar, right? Price pulled back. And now, the why, right? Why did I take this trade? Why did I finally feel like at 11 o'clock? And it's just a reminder that no matter, where you're at in your day, your morning, if you're tuned in, if you're centered, if you feel and you see, and granted, it can go both ways, but you're trying to put yourself in a position where you're relaxed and you're clear minded and you can see how this works out. That you're gonna what happened? Yes. You're gonna see the opportunities open up. Have you ever been in a fight with somebody, an argument, and there's nothing you can say to me sometimes when I'm fired up about something that's gonna change my mind at all. Doesn't matter. Hey, I got $1,000,000 for you. Don't care. Get out of my face. Don't want to hear about it. So that's kind of the other side of trading, right? Um, where does that fall into the being open? I guess what I'm trying to say. So I was closed for a while, and I was, and I do this for a living, so um, I have to be careful. There's a lot of money on the line, and so I am always trying to center myself, and I do that by mapping the market out. Looking for things that show up, right? That are consistent. One of my mentors always had this stuff drawn out, and I was like, wow, what is that? How does he see all that? And it wasn't until I started teaching this stuff that I realized what it was that he was doing. Is he's just observing. You can have all kinds of stuff going on the side. I look at other traders and how their trade shops and how they run them, and there's so much going on, and I know people are making money, so that's why I don't disparage them, but I couldn't do that. It's too hard. I don't want to, I don't want to do that. I'm here to trade, right? I'm here to trade and make a little money, get my nut, get out. I got stuff to do today. I'm not gonna be stuck all day. So anyhow, where was I at with that? So I was here on the 750 tick, right? 750 tick, and I was at 11 o'clock with this whole thing drawn up. 11 o'clock. All right, so let's go back to 11 o'clock. And I'm just going to kind of, this is kind of yesterday's stuff too. Who knows? Who knows what it was? Oh yeah, here it was. Okay, so how did I get here? Right. So I did my morning analysis. You guys heard all that. I mapped out, my impulse legs, right? And remember what we're trying to do here, guys. We're trying to have an impulse. We got 3 layers of stuff. And this hasn't been working for me. Does it work for you? I don't know how it does that. I had this thing work. It worked the other day, and see, now it's working. I was doing the same thing. These computers, man. I'm telling you, this whole world that we're headed into, this AI. Whew, good luck, kids. My kids are gonna do. But look at this. So this is what my basic structure is, right? I understand this, and I'll get into it. I have to go through this because I have to get centered, and that's what I try to explain to people, and that's what people try to explain to me is that there's going to be parts of this that are going to be harder to understand because you want to make money. You want to make money. And you don't want to be wrong. It's like this business here is a reflection of right and wrong. And that's what one of the really hard parts about this is that there's days I get so frustrated because I don't get a trade. I missed a trade. I got to make money. And then I'm just a grump for the day. If I don't make money, I'm just like, ugh. So I don't like feeling that way. And to change that is I have to slow down and I have to understand my market. I have to be able to feel and see and read and understand. So this is my, this is the setup right here, right? Right? Look here. Where do you see this? Where do you see this right here? Right? I see a zone. I see another zone. Right? This is the kill zone right here. Kill zone. Kill zone. Why is it? See, and then it goes down there. There's something wrong with my computer, man. I'm telling you, it's too much here. There's a kill zone here, and there's a kill zone here, right? Give me that kill zone. Give me that kill zone. Drive me nuts. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking for price to hit these zones and have reactions, because now if I can map this out, I know where price is going to dance. I know where price is going to flow. I know where price is going to, um, and why is that? Because it's mostly computers, right? It's all computers these days. Um, who's who it's not just I'm a dude that's sitting in my in my trading room trying to eke out a living doing trades, and I'm not a big time guy. I'm not, I don't have a room full of dudes that I'm trying to maximize all this stuff here. No, I'm like most guys, man. We're just here to trade and got our kids, our things going on. So this here calms me down. Why does it calm me down? Because now I can start making distinctions about things, right? There's a coil, right? This is energy building up and then it expands, right? It goes right into my setup like butter, right? Like butter. And this is where you're going to find me just looking at this stuff really close. And granted, look, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying any of that stuff. But what I can do is I can say, oh, okay, something happened, right? So every morning I do this stuff. This is what you should be doing too. Identifying the parts of the puzzle. Where are the opportunities? Now I've been doing this for over a decade. So to me, it's really easy now. To me, it's, I've dealt with the frustration. I've dealt with, buy that, right? Get long. It's going up. Rock and roll. No, that's a seller, right? You want to sell that. In fact, you don't even want to be a part of that whole thing. But I understand that. And it took me a long time. And I'm not saying that this is easy. This is not easy at all. There's a couple of things. It's your emotions, it's your understanding, it's this. But I'm telling you right now, from one trader to another, you don't need any more than this right here. At 12 o'clock, you get in at 12:07. You're before before you're even done with lunch and the dishes are put away. You're done. That's it. Now, how did I identify that? How did I do that? I isolated. I got into the nitty gritty, right? I can see the turn here with this thing, and it's starting to break out of here. And it's starting to break out, and it's, you know, you want to change it up a little bit, right? I can't do a sideways coil. This is a coil as well, right? See how it coils up like a snake, doing all this stuff here, then expands into another coil. Cool stuff. I see it all the time. I don't trade it all the time, but I see it all the time, right? So that's how easy this business can be. That's how easy this business can be. But it's also as hard as this business can be, because you have to be able to put all these pieces of all these puzzles and all these things. And that's why coming here every day, listening to a professional speak about it, that I'm making trades as I go. I'm not telling you where to trade. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm hoping that you can sit back and relax and learn about why this happens. I remember going to the chat rooms and how do you do this and how do you do that, and all these things that just cause all this frustration. And I'm telling you, man, you're home. You're in the right spot. You're gonna make it, buddy. I believe in you. See, now you sit back and you're like, oh yeah, there's a coil right there, and you say, oh yeah, there's this right here is a high. We break it all down so we can see and be clear about what it is we're doing. Right? Isn't it interesting that here's this resistance? It's hitting the resistance, and it doesn't just break through, right? It bounces back down into here. It energizes, right? What I say, there's a different coil, but look at that. That's a coil, right? And it landed. Where did price land? Right there. See, this is what I want to see. I want to understand this, because now I know that if I buy this in here, because this is another level, I can put a stop right under here and know that I'm going to make a trade, right? Price took out the high, right? It broke the top, right? And this is why you don't, right? Look at, right? How many times have you done this? And I'm not kidding. I've done it 1,000 times. How many times have you done this? Price goes up, comes back down, has all this stuff going on, and then, it's getting ready to go. I'm getting long here, and I'm going, I want to get the whole thing. I actually do it so much that I have to stop myself. And that's another lesson, is understanding where you're at. Like yesterday in my pre-market analysis or my midday analysis, I had a bias toward the short side, right? So this is, take a break, get away from everything, get yourself centered, don't force it, because this is what happens. Okay, where am I at? I don't even know where I'm at. So yesterday, over here, there's a high. Somewhere over here, there's a high. Okay. And I don't know where it is, but it's off my chart. And I didn't know, I knew that a high, when I see a high, price gets weird. Things happen and it's not clear to me. Right. And I know that when price makes a high, it comes back down into the swing. Oh God, I just see it everywhere now. So when a price makes a new high, I'm not eager to get long and keep writing that out, because I know that the sellers are going to sell back down to the buyers, and the buyers are going to pick it up and take it off, right? And uh, it's just, it's just how the market handles itself over and over and over again. See that coil and that expansion, right? Right out of that whole thing. Right out of that whole thing. Now, you should be doing the same thing with your market. You can take any market you're a part of, anything that you feel like you think or whatever you trade. Um, some people trade only markets that are going up. I know a trader that he goes to Yahoo and he just has stocks that are going up, and so he'll just trade those stocks, and he manages it well. He does well with it. That's not my style. I'm not that guy. That's fine. No big deal. I know I'm not getting rich tomorrow. I know tomorrow I'm going to be here to trade, though. I know tomorrow I'm going to be able to handle my business. If things go wrong today, no big deal. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm not in a position where I have to do something. So that's the morning lesson. And so let's talk about what's going on for this trading day. Oh yeah, we started off. Look, see, this is how I get on these tangents. See, the price is telling you a story, and it's telling me a story, and it's just like, what's the story, dude? What's the story, Mike? So here we are yesterday, and I did tell you about, this whole thing comes off here, and then I see, this is a gap, right, that I expect to get filled, and I was biased about this. I was like, it's going to come back down into here somewhere. That's how I see it. It's going to come back down into here. So we're going to, well, so, okay. I look for the buyers, right? I see this chunk here. I see this chunk here. This is hard to trade. I don't try to trade this. This is why I had a bias, because, coming up out of the open, it was 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I don't like to jump on this stuff. I want to pull back, right? I want to pull back, but I know that it's a new high. So I'm like, I'm not trading new highs. I just don't. And neither should you, or bottoms. Wait for a pullback. Wait for something to show you what it's going to do, right? And even in here, if you're trading this little chunk, right? If you're trading this little chunk, watch the action, right? We need the impulse down. We have the pullback, a little guy pullback, and then it comes down again. Look at that. Look how hard that is. Those are big bars from 9 to 9:15, 3 minutes on a 750 tick chart. And I trade the 750 tick because I can see this stuff easier. If you're on a 20-minute, it's the same thing. But the 750 tick is my pace of trading. And I boiled it down. I did the 2400. I did a couple of different ones, and everybody, every trader I meet is different, and that's what makes this whole thing work. But my point is this: I saw this action, and I knew it was a high, so I was like, no, I don't want to really trade it. But then you see this whole thing play out, and right, here's our setup: impulse leg down. There's a wash. Same thing I did yesterday. Boom. Sell this line, right? You could sell this here with a stop right there. And oh my, you're close. You're really close. I'd probably take my money. You're feeling really crappy right here, right? You're like, why did I do this, Mike? Why did I do this? This is lame. But you could also say, oh, you missed that one. Hey, come over here and say, I'm going to hide behind this guy. Maybe I hide behind this guy. There you go. There's another 3-to-1 trade. And this is easy in hindsight. I'm not saying you have to go in the hindsight. You have to look at this in the past to see it in real time. Because this happened here at 9:15. This comes back up here at 10, an hour later, and you see this action. You're not wrong to think that there's like which way is this going, right? You have the price come up here hard, and it bounces around, bounces, doesn't close, comes down here, hits here, and then it goes down, right? There's really no break in this whole thing. It's kind of weird. But what my point is this, is that it doesn't show you that it's going up. It's not finishing. There's no bar like that that's going up. Where was it before? There was one I saw. Look at this 5:30 open, right? We're 5:43. This whole thing, man. Could you imagine that? But look at it, same thing, right? Right? Where's your zone? Boom. Somewhere in here. Boom. Down here. Boom. Right? Tighten it up a little bit, right? There's a little something there. Business, 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 business. Comes across business, right? Something's going to happen right here, right? And it's a top. Maybe it keeps going up. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm kind of at the same way I was yesterday. I'm not really sure. I'm still biased toward this down here. Yesterday at 11 o'clock, all right, I made a trade. Where was my trade? Let's go back to it real quick. Price is coming down. Price is coming down. I have my box, my stop box, where it's gonna break this or go down. I got in at 10:30, 11, something like that. That was my box. That was it. This is it, baby. I did this trade. Look at that. Look at me. Look at me. Right, this is the trade I did. It's funny. I didn't even think about it. I had my box, my buy box here, and then I put this little Andrews chart on it. I had my order here, and I said, I want to see this happen. Is that what happened? What happened? That box happened at 9:30. Yeah, 9:30. Maybe it was this one. Oh, now it's bugging me. Now it's bugging me. Let me see. The one thing I learned is that, so it comes off here. Okay, so I got that box mapped out. See, this didn't really happen. So 10:10, I'm right down here. See, one of the things I've learned is that when you change the chart updates. It's not, as much as it's real time, the bars don't print the same way. So if you refresh a chart after a while, it's going to look a little different. But I think this is funny because this is kind of the same thing I was working on live. And so I essentially took this trade here. I took this trade here. See, that's not even popping up. See, it comes down here. And I don't even have that. At 9:20. See, 9:20, I'm over here. Interesting. Well, so yeah, that's kind of, oh, okay, 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 okay. Here. Yeah, so price comes back here. It pulls into here. My orders are in here, and then I get out right in here, 3-1. Personally, I like to get out at the levels, right? So if I've got a level here, give it to me. Dang it. I'm gonna have to fix this thing. I got a level here, here. If I'm trading here, I'm trading here, I'm gonna get out in here. Because look at all the times when there's a low right? New low, price zoomed it, pulled back, down, back, down, back. I want to get out. I'm not trading a chart. Like if I'm trading a 60-minute or you know, um, a 4 hour, let's see, uh, 4 minutes, about 240. If I'm trading a 240, right, and we're uh, we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time to make this happen. Then you know, uh, you can trade it, right? Your stop here, right? You got this coil here, right? You're not worried about these little things here. This is hard to trade, right? Look at that. That's a 4 hour chart, right? So you've got this impulse up. You've got your pullback into this thing, right? And again, you can hide behind this thing. You can hide behind this thing. This big guy, big boy here, right? If it comes down into here, I'm going to look really hard at this line to say, okay, and then you say, well, Mike, geez, you're up here. You've got this crazy, yeah, but you're trading a 4 hour chart with stops. I understand this is a stop. I understand this is a stop. Why is this a stop? Well, because, it's got a few characteristics about it that I like. See, it's going to happen here again too. This line will come into play, right? So anyhow, what am I doing today? I'm watching. I'm chilling. I'm not in a hurry. I had a pretty good trade yesterday, so I made some money. And I kind of have that attitude. I'm not eager to trade. I'm eager to learn. I'm eager to see something that I can take into the next trade. Every time you make a trade, you're going to take it into the next trade. You can't over leverage yourself. You can't over trade yourself. If you want to trade a lot, trade sim. If you want to do leverage, you want to see what it's like to make $10,000 on a trade, sim it out, right? Do 20 of those trades in a week just to see how you feel or see how it looks. Stay busy. This isn't a busy, these guys that are teaching this stuff out there are just, I'm here to show you how to trade. I want, if you're not going to take it seriously, I don't want your money, man. Get out. But, this is kind of, this is kind of, I've been talking too long. Market's going to open here shortly. And, get out there and make some money, man. Have some fun. Enjoy it. Do your analysis. Map your market, your highs, your lows, your zones. And then if you're, again, one last time, if you're going to get long, buy down here, right? Don't buy here, right? The only reason why I'm looking at this is that once this gets beat, it pulls back, tendency to pull back into itself, right? So if I'm trading this piece here, and look, I'm going to take a hit. I'm a 30 to 40% win rate guy, right? So 60 to 70% of my trades aren't going to work. Yeah, and that sucks. But once you realize that your numbers will all even out in the end, you're going to be here long term. You're going to be fine, right? Once this breaks this structure, you can now hide behind here. You can even say, "Oh well, geez, I need this is the best stop I can come up with." Look, dude, you just had yourself a day from 7:15 till 8:30. Hour and 15 minutes. If you're new to trading, get yourself a chart program, learn how to sim, learn how to get out there and draw on this stuff. Again, this is over a decade of experience bringing this stuff. So some people really get it. Other people are, brand new and don't know how to do any of this stuff. Questions and comments below. Talk to you in a little bit.